Hello YouTube, today I will be reviewing this brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 thanks to Shepherd's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Auburn, Indiana. So with that, let's get right into this video. So to start things off, let's get started with the exterior on this 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. So as you guys can see just from looking at it, there are some subtle differences between this and a normal Jeep Rubicon. First off, most easy to see are these aggressive 35-inch off-road tires from the Extreme 35 package, which is included in the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. This includes a 1.5-inch factory lift. As you can see down there, we're definitely sitting a little higher than a normal Wrangler would be. In these really sleek looking gunmetal-y kind of bronzy beadlock rims. And the cool thing about these rims is, like I talked about in my original Rubicon video, there's some Easter eggs on this truck, and here's one of them. Jeep Willys on the center cap, which is kind of a throwback to the Jeep heritage, I would say. So that's not the only thing when it comes to the exterior on this vehicle. It has a bronze appearance package for all the emblems. So you got a bronze trail rated emblem right there, bronzy gray Jeep logo on the side. You've also got this cool 392 final edition badge right here that says 392 kind of engraved on the side. It's pretty hard to see. You've got bronze Rubicon badges on the side. You've got bronze tow hooks on the front, on the winch. You've also got this cool matte black bronzy decal on the hood that's got kind of like a pattern throughout it. And you've also got these 392 bronze and black emblems that are hinting to the beast that's under the hood of this vehicle. Another one of the biggest differences on this 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 is this worn winch on the front of the vehicle that's integrated into the front bumper really seamlessly, that you definitely don't see on your normal Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. So on that note, when it comes to the differences in the off-roady stuff on the outside of this vehicle, you've also got these gigantic rock rails down both sides of the truck. So this thing can handle some serious off-roading. And while we're looking at those rock rails, why don't we come back here and look at this quad exhaust that is also featured on the Wrangler Rubicon 392. And with the hit of a button, we can hear what it sounds like. That's pretty mean sounding. That's not your grandpa's normal Jeep right there. Let you guys listen to it a little bit instead of my voice. So while we're down here admiring the exhaust, I doubt you guys can see under the vehicle, but this vehicle does also have beefed up axles under it, so you can go over some rocks without a breeze and not have to worry about damaging anything. This is a fully built off-road vehicle from the factory. That's what you're paying for on this thing. This trim package is not for show, it's for utility. Now, since we've got all that stuff out of the way, how much does this thing weigh? Well, the Wrangler 392 weighs 5,268 pounds, and it has a towing capability of 3,500 pounds. So now that we've gone over some of the exterior differences, let's pop the hood on this thing and check out that 392 engine. For years, aftermarket companies have made it possible for you to add a 392 engine to your Wrangler. The V8 engine in these Jeeps has not been around since the CJ days, which is quite a while, since about the late 70s, early 80s. But as of 2021, you can order it fully kitted out just like you want from the factory. if you don't know a ton about the 392 in this vehicle, it is a 6.4 liter Hemi V8 engine that produces 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. The Wrangler Rubicon gets a 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is pretty crazy for such a light vehicle like this. Now, it gets 13 miles to the gallon in the city and 17 miles per gallon on the highway. That's not too bad compared to what both of my V8 cars get. Now that I've showed off about all I could of the engine, and there's some more of the bronze touches up there, let's talk about the transmission in this thing. So the Rubicon's 392 engine is mated to a 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's the same transmission that can be seen in just about any Wrangler model. It shares it with all the other V8 Wranglers. And as you can see, looking down on the bottom of the hood, those air intakes, they're all functional. So this thing ain't just show, it's actually putting down the power. So let's get this hood closed up and move on to the interior. All right, so on to the interior. So as much as I'd like to just jump in and show the front of this thing, let's start at the very back of it. There we go. This is one feature I love about the Wranglers, is you got this split kind of tailgate. You can have the window popped open if you want to. You can open just the window by itself, or you can just open the trunk by itself. It's a pretty versatile vehicle. Back here, you got a decent amount of cargo space. You can fit quite a bit of stuff back here. I mean, here's a box that's easily longer than my arm, probably closer to 3 feet, I'd say. Let's not exaggerate on it. We know we normally go off my arm as the comparison, so going off anything else for me kind of threw me off there for a second. Back here you got a little cargo well, which is really nice on a lot of these newer cars, but in this one it's full of some of your Jeep accessories that are going to come with this thing when you're spending the amount of money you would on a Rubicon Wrangler. There's a trailer hitch cover, there's a little pouch with your tools in it. There's a couple other things down there. So let's get this closed up now that I've showed you guys what it looks like back here. You also got your Alpine subwoofers and a 12-volt DC outlet, so that's all the essentials you need, right? Pretty much that's all the essentials I'd need. Oh, and it shows Jeep back here, and because this is the Wrangler 392, you got this really cool Rubicon 392 Final Edition, like little spec sheet right here, which is really neat. This vehicle has some neat Easter eggs in it. So let's get her closed up and move to the back seat. All right, as you guys can see, I'm in the back seat of the Wrangler 392. Here I am. How's it going? So since I got the camera flipped around on me, let's talk about headroom. So I'm 5'11", and I easily have one hand to the ceiling. You got a decent amount of headroom. If you were 6'4", 6'3", you'd be touching your head right here. But that doesn't matter if you plan on only using this thing with this top open. Then it doesn't matter how tall you are, because the taller you are, the better the breeze you'll feel in your hair. Just a couple of the other things back here. Here's your center console, rear center console, which, here's an Easter egg. Your cup holders are actually the third headrest back here, which is kind of nifty. Not too many cars you see that in. And everything's also finished off in this nice accent colored bronze stitching. Nice leather all throughout the back of this vehicle. This is a really nice, highly optioned Wrangler, so it's really spiffy and fancy back here. So I've gone over most of what I could go over, besides leg room, which, me being 5'11", I've got plenty of leg room. This seat is back pretty far, but like I said before, if you are taller, then it will be a little bit more of a crunch for you to sit in the back of this thing. So with that, let's jump up to the front. All right, here we are in the front of the 392 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. This is pretty similar to any other Jeep Wrangler or the other Jeep Wrangler Rubicon I did, like I kind of stated in the back, the main differences you have are the really neat, like, bronzy kind of gold stitching throughout. And it also does have this upgraded 13.2-inch Uconnect system with available trail guide mapping, which is really cool. It's kind of like Google Maps, but for all those off-road people, it shows all these really cool, like, off-road trails you'd want to go on, which is a neat feature to have if you plan on off-roading this thing and putting it through the gauntlet. We've also got your pretty standard controls. You got your window switches in the middle, just like they are in the rear. You got your front rear lockers. There we go, get down in there to show the neat red coloring on them. You got your 4 high settings, 4 low, neutral. There's your shift gear right there. To put this into shift, you just tap this red button on the back, pull it back apart, reverse, neutral, drive, whatever you want to put it in. And it's also got this really cool Rubicon 392 Final Edition gear shift on it. When you do throw this car into reverse, it automatically shows you your backup camera. I don't know what that is. This isn't my Jeep. I don't have a husband. I don't know what that's about. My phone definitely ain't connected to this thing. But here's your little vents down here. There's another circle vent down over there. Definitely feels really good on me in this hot heat we got going on today, this 100-degree weather out here, so can't beat any of that. Here's your nice pointy looking rear view mirror. Here's your sun visors. Looks like we got something sticking out of the sun visor. That's the window sheet. Nice. It's almost like I planted it there. Let's get into this after I go over all the other features on the vehicle, so we won't spoil that too soon. Here's your controls for this opening roof, which is pretty sweet. Definitely like that you can just open and close it on the go. Look at that. Look at all the room we got in this thing. Look at it. Can't beat that, right? Goes all the way to the back there. All right, it's pretty hot out. Let's close it up. Let's flip you guys back around. Here's your steering wheel. There's all your phone controls, so you can call your husband or wife like it just told me a second ago. Here's your adaptive cruise control right there. There's your cruise control options. Let's see. There's your like your blinkers right here. Here's your wiper settings. There's your 4 high mode showed back on here. There's your gauge, which I like that this thing's sticking true to having an analog gauge. It's pretty nice. A lot of vehicles have electric ones, which that's kind of what this doubles as, which I really like having both of them. It's just a nice feature to have. So let's play with this a little bit, like I always like to do. Play with the center controls here. Let's see if I know how to. If there even is anything to play with. There might not be in this vehicle. Yeah, I don't think there is any way to change those modes back there. Huh. Well, if there is, then you guys definitely got to let me know in the description below. But it doesn't appear there is, but it kind of shows everything you'd want to know on there right now. Your fuel your fuel level, not fuel economy, but there you go. We're at half a tank. How hot and cold your vehicle is, and then there's a 360 kind of pan of the vehicle, and when you're backing up, it picks up on these sensors to see if you're gonna get near something or not. So definitely like that feature. Let's put her in park. All right, let's start off on the home screen. So on the home screen, we got our maps, which these newer Chrysler products use Google Maps, which is pretty crazy. It's just like using your cell phone. It's really cool. Really like that feature. It's really easy to just search whatever you want. I mean, literally, if you want to like find a gas station, you hit gas station and look, it'll route you to the closest gas station, and it shows the prices. Look at that. That is really cool. Shows you accurate pricing of everything. Can't beat that one. There's your radio. Don't have to get into too much with that. That's just your radio. You know, your Uconnect you can use on it, your Bluetooth. You can use Sirius XM. Don't need to get too much into that yet. don't really want to blare some music and get a copyright strike. Oh well, why not? Let's just show it off. There's my sources right here. There's all your different source settings. You even have Alexa on this thing, which is crazy. You got an aux that you can hook up. You can just browse whatever stations you want. Then you can change like your equalizers and like how loud it is and the different seats, or how much bass certain people get. If you want to hog all the bass, then you can hog all the bass. Here's your comfort settings. Here's just your seat controls of like max AC, which yeah, I want that. I need that. Oh no, you guys aren't gonna be able to hear me with the max AC, so we'll turn it down. There we go. And there's your like rear AC controls. There's some of the navigation that I kind of showed earlier. Definitely neat to have. Here's some stuff you could have on your phone settings. Neither of those are my name, so those aren't me. Here's your vehicle kind of settings, mirror dimmer, forward facing camera. Let's click that. Boom. Vehicle getting detailed right there, just like this one just was. Here's your rear camera. Oh look, it's a dump truck in like a field. It's pretty cool. One option that kind of threw me off, okay, because both of my cars you can drive with the doors open. I know Chryslers haven't been like that for a while. On the Jeep Wrangler, your doors will feel like they're open sometimes when they aren't. I just kind of found this out today. So if you shift it into like drive with the doors open, then it does this. Let's see if I can get it to do it. There we go. It does like an engage, shift to park, and then shift to gear. So it wants to make sure that your doors are all completely shut before you get moving, which isn't a bad safety feature at all. I mean, it's a pretty good thing. And then here's just some of your media settings, your comfort settings, navigation settings, just quick ways to get to that stuff. Let's see, is there anything else I'm missing here? Got another 12-volt outlet up here. Got some aux port, USB-C, and a normal USB outlet right there. You got some more like plug-in controls for like accessories if you wanted to equip this thing with lights or anything like that. Here's your glove box. Pretty decent sized glove box for this size of vehicle. You could fit like you could fit a nice stack of napkins in there and like a water bottle. So there you go. And then you got this just nice stitching throughout. I really like the contrast stitching throughout this thing. Oh, and look at this. You guys get your first duck with this. Now, here's your SOS up here. Here's like an assist for like talking to like your menus and stuff like that, that kind of assist. There's your passenger airbag, just shows that it's working and not. And then here's your visors. Oh look, there I am. Hi guys, how's it going? And then you got one over here. Boom. There's your oh crap handles. Got an oh crap handle right here, one right there for the passenger. Can't do with enough oh crap handles. Got some nice little net down there you can put stuff in. And that's honestly pretty much it. So now that I've showed off everything I wanted to, let's get into the window sticker. So this Jeep Wrangler Rubicon's priced at $106,000 based off of the window sticker. Here it is for you guys to see. This thing is pretty loaded. It has a lot of options in it for what you can get. I mean, it's a 392 Rubicon. It's got the big engine in it. It's got the off-road looking wheels. It's a pretty well equipped, mean looking car. The base price of this would have been $99,995 before like all your extra options, but this one's priced at about $6.5 grand more than that. So it's got a couple additional things that are pretty nice quality of life improvements, like the one-touch sky roof that I opened up earlier but melted on, and it's got removable rear quarter windows, which is pretty nice. But here's the window sticker if you guys want to pause it just to see what you're looking for. And with that, I'm gonna turn the AC up on this thing, crank some tunes, and I'll see you guys in the next video.